Hi everyone, and welcome back to our weekly live stream. Happy New Year. Welcome to the first live stream of 2023. Super exciting. In this week's live lesson, I'm going to talk about how to learn English or any other language in 2023. So this week we are going to talk about goal setting. We are going to talk about what's called can-do lists. So how do you check yourself and how do you use this information to create a study plan for yourself? So this week's lesson, I hope, will help you to design kind of your roadmap for the year. So as you join, please make sure to hit the like button and of course share this video so that other people can find today's lesson. That would be super cool. So as we wait for people to join us live, if you have not done this yet, somehow, mysteriously, you have not done this yet, the team has a free level check test for you. You can find this from the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube, above the video if you're watching on Facebook. This banner says test your level now. If you check this, you will find this page right here. Check that link to get to this page. You can do our team's free level check test to get some information about your level. So you will go down on this page, you will get a test result that looks like this. So you will put in your answers and get some information and some recommendations, some courses and some lessons that are specific for your answers, for your level. So if you don't know what to study, if you don't know what your next goal should be, we're going to talk about it today, but this is another tool you can use to help you as you design your plan, your study plan for the year. So this is free. You need your name and an email address at EnglishClass101.com, and then you can access it. Okay, that's announcement number one. Announcement number two, if you have questions for me, please send me your questions, but please send me your questions on our official question submission page. So this is in the link in the YouTube description. I get lots of questions from people in YouTube comments and in Facebook comments and Instagram DMs, maybe other places. Please don't send them there. I cannot check all of them. I want your questions. I do. So if you want your question to if you want a chance for your question to be answered in this series, please send your question to the official Ask Alicia question submission page. That's EnglishClass101.com/ask-Alicia. That's very long, so please check the YouTube description for this link. Phew. Also, if you want to find me on Instagram or on Twitter, you can find those links in the YouTube description also. So come follow me there. Get all my amazing, fascinating updates. Okay, great. I think everything is rolling, yeah? It looks like YouTube is here. Facebook, are you here? Yeah, cool. The team says Facebook is also here. What's up, Facebook? I am going to like and share the video, and then we are going to start today's lesson. Today, we are trying something, I'm trying something a little different. You are going to help me, okay, with today's lesson. So we're going to start today's lesson by talking about goals. My first goal is to like and share the video. Okay, great. I crushed my goal. Great. My goal is achieved. First goal is achieved. Okay, let's go to the first part of today's lesson. So I'm not going to use all the whiteboards that we usually use in lives. Today, we are going to talk about how to do SMART goals. So if you have watched this channel for a few years, you probably know what I'm going to say today. So you can use this as a test, right? So today I am going to start, because it's the first live stream of the year, and anytime, no matter what time of year you watch this, it's important to know how to set good goals. So a lot of you write to me and say, I want to be fluent in English. My goal is to be fluent in English. My goal is to be like a native speaker in English. Of course, of course, everyone who studies a language wants to gain fluency, right? But those goals are not such good goals because they're not very specific, right? We don't know, when did I achieve fluency? Even in native speakers, we have different levels of communication skills, right? So today we are going to start, in this year, we are going to start by talking about SMART goals. Ta-da! So what is a SMART goal? This is the SMART SMART approach I have talked about many times on this channel. So maybe some of you know the things I'm going to say. You can send it in the chat. What do you think the S stands for? So let's go through these one by one so you can set a good goal for yourself this year, and you can set good small goals for yourself too. Okay, so send your ideas in the chat. So let's go through each letter. Let's start with S. So you can send, what do you think S stands for? What do you think M stands for? These are the first letters of each concept we are going to talk about. Okay, so let's take a look at the first point of a SMART goal. So a SMART goal should be specific. So when I said before, like many of you write and say, I want to be fluent. I want to sound like a native speaker. It's not a specific goal, right? So a specific goal is something like, I want to learn 100 vocabulary words. Very clear, very specific, right? Or I want to learn 5 grammar points. Very specific, yeah? Or I want to be able to order a pizza on the phone, whatever. Very specific, right? So the first point of a SMART goal is that your goal should be specific, okay? So if you are thinking about your goals for the year, the first point, make it a specific goal, yeah? And you can do this for your year goal and for like monthly goal and weekly goal and so on, okay? All right, let's go to the next one. So if you have ideas for M, what do you think M means, okay? You can send it in the chat, but let's go to the next one. M, what does M stand for? M stands for measurable. Measurable. What is measurable? So we can break this down. Measure, right? We have measure here, and able. Able, this suffix means can, right? So measure means like using a ruler, for example. So how many centimeters, or how many inches, or how many kilometers, or hours. We can measure this goal, right? So a measurable goal is something we can measure. So what does that mean for this goal, for a goal? How do we do that? For example, let's say your goal is, I want to learn 100 new vocabulary words. We can measure, which means we can check, did I reach the goal or not, right? So if I study every day, right, and after a month, maybe, I study 100 vocabulary words, I can check, right? I know, did I reach 100 or no? Did I study only 50? We can measure how many vocabulary words did I study? Or how many grammar lessons did I take? Or how many pizzas did I order in my new language, right? We can measure, did I do it or not, right? So your goal should be specific and measurable, yeah? Something that you can measure, all right? So this is point 2 for making a good goal, okay? All right, so you can see next is A. A, some of you are suggesting things in the chat. Let's see, Manasa thinks it's assignable. Good guess, but no, no. So these are goals just for yourself, right? So we don't have to assign someone the goal. Oh, Roseth has the answer. Roseth Senosi, YouTube chat, you are the first and only person I see who got the A. Yeah, nice one. Maybe you have seen me talk about this before. Achievable. Achievable is the A. Achievable. So here we have this suffix able again, right? Able, meaning can, yeah? And here we have achieve, yeah? So to achieve something means to succeed with something, right? So achievable means we can achieve it, right? So that means the goal is possible, yeah? For example, if you say like, I'm going to become like a native speaker tomorrow, it's not possible, right? That's crazy, right? So your goal should be achievable as well. So again, if your goal is to study 100 vocabulary words in a month, for example, that goal is achievable. It is possible to do it, yeah? So make sure your goal is possible. Don't go too crazy. Okay? All right. So we're going to go on to the next one. I'm looking for your answers. Okay, some of you are sending guesses for T. Hello to everyone that's joining. Welcome. Some others, Gigi Garcia on Facebook suggests attainable for this aim. That's another word, yeah, that's good to use here. So achievable or attainable. So to attain means like to get something. It's a more formal way to say to get something. So you could express it with attain as well. Okay, let's go to the next one. The R in this expression. Some of you are sending alternative, some alternative answers for these. Some good ones. Okay, Max on YouTube says reachable. And someone on Facebook, I lost you. Where'd you go? Facebook, someone on Facebook had it. Santiago, realistic. Could that be the R word? Yes, Santiago, you win the prize. It's realistic. So realistic is the next one, the R in the SMART expression. Yeah? Yeah, lots of you are writing realistic or reachable. Yeah, so good ideas, everyone. Very good ideas. The R here stands for realistic. So realistic means like possible. Realistic means that it's something that is good for you to do. It is possible for you to do. So for example, maybe an achievable goal is like 100 vocabulary words in a month. Yeah? But if you say realistic, like if you know, like, oh my gosh, my schedule is so busy, I can't take, 2 hours of language classes every week and study this and study that. So maybe there's a goal that it's possible to do. Yeah? Like maybe you want to do intensive study for 3 months, right? Finish an intensive study course. But your work schedule is really busy or your school schedule is really busy, right? And so that goal is not so realistic for you personally, right? So the R in this means that you need to think about yourself, right? Your own needs. Like, do you have an hour every day? Great. Do you have 30 minutes? Great. Do you have 10 minutes? Great. Find those like times that are good for you and that you can stick with, yeah? You can continue and choose your goal according to that, okay? Great, yeah. So, all right, some good guesses are coming in for the other words in this. Lots of you are writing about the T here. I like that. Karima says, thinkable. Very interesting, but no. Okay, very interesting. Let's see, some others are saying, good points, yeah. So Raymundo says, something you can see happening, that is real. That's a good, I think it's a good thing to keep in mind, right? Something you can imagine is also a very helpful part of your goal, okay? Abdullah on YouTube says, set a timetable. Okay, some people are guessing T. Abdulaziz on Facebook says time-bound. Fabshir says tangible, time-bound. Lots of you are getting it. Hey, nice. Rogerio says timely. English with Shobi also says time-bound. Nayeli stands for timeline. Great. Yeah, you are all awesome. Super awesome guesses. So the last part here is, as you said, time-based or timely or time-bound. Yes, exactly. So what does that mean? This means you have a deadline for your goal, right? So that means, again, a vocabulary goal. My goal is to learn 100 vocabulary words in January, right? So you have a timeline, right? Your goal is time-based, yeah? So if you don't have a deadline, if you don't have a timeline for your goal, then it's like, whenever is okay, right? We can push it off to the side. We can think about it for a while. It's so easy not to do it because there's no deadline, right? So time-based, this is another very important part, yeah, for your goals. So a SMART goal is a goal that has all of these points, yeah? Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-based. So when you make your goal for the year and when you make your goal for the month, for the week, make sure your goals all follow this pattern. It might be difficult at the beginning, that's okay. But make sure you think about these, because if you set good goals for yourself, you can hit your targets a lot easier. Yeah. And this is not only for language. If you're studying something else, or if you're working on a project, you can use the same system, the same goal system for the other work and the other things you're studying. This is not only for language. Okay. Excellent work today. Great work filling in all of the SMART goal points. I love that. That's super good. Let's take a super quick break, and then we're going to talk about how to do self-checks, right? So the next part is understanding your level and deciding what to study, right? So we are going to talk about this in part 2 for today's lesson. So wonderful work with the SMART goal. That was awesome. I love that. So very, very quickly, before we go to the self-check tips, if you want another resource, another way to check your goals, or to check your level, you can check the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube, and above the video if you're watching on Facebook. You will find this page. I went down on this page. The team has created a level check test for you to use. It is free. So you can go up here. If you have an EnglishClass101.com account, you can sign in here, log in here, and take the test. If you do not have an account, you can make one for free. No problem. So if you need help with this part, go down on this page here to this 1, 2, 3, 4 step process. If you need some help to access this, then take the test and you will receive a recommendation for lessons, courses, pathways, what to study next. So if you want to study with my videos, if you want to study with our audio lessons and get tons and tons of different study tools, you can check this, check the recommendations, and see if there's something that matches your goals and your study style. Okay, cool. So with that, let's continue to part 2 for today's lesson. So today, if you are just joining live, we are talking about how to learn English in 2023. So Happy New Year to those of you who are just joining. Welcome. If you haven't, make sure to like the video and share it, because it helps us with the algorithm. Okay, let's go now to part 2. The can-do list. Okay, so if you are a longtime viewer of this channel, you have probably heard me talk about something called a can-do list, or can-do questions, yeah? So this is a list of questions, right, that you have to answer. You have to say, I can do that, or it's kind of difficult, but maybe, or no, I can't do that, right? So we use something called a can-do list to understand your level. So this is a tool you can use for free by yourself. Google can-do list English. Yeah, you will find many different examples. So you can use this, or you can make a list. Yeah, you can make your own list of lots and lots and lots of different topics from beginner to advanced, and check yourself. Personally, I recommend you use a can-do list, or you take a level check test like we have on our website. You do this. I recommend that because experts, the professionals, made a really good list, a good list to check all of the different language skills. Yeah. So let's talk about can-do lists and how to use them, because I talk about this in live streams throughout the year. So if you do not have a list for yourself to use, now is a super good time to create one. So let's see, like, what do we do? If it's not easy to understand, let's do this. Okay, so we use can-do lists to self-check. So let's look at an example of this. What does this look like? For example, here's a sample question. Can I talk about my hobbies? Can I talk about my hobbies? Okay, you can answer yes, or it's challenging, or no. Okay, 3 possible answers. That's it. Yeah, only 3. So can I talk about my hobbies? Let's say yes. Okay, let's imagine. So I will circle yes on this can-do list. Maybe yours is a Google form or in a notebook. Okay, here's my answer for this one. Let's go to the next one. Can I understand a news report? Can I understand a news report? So think about it carefully right now. Can I understand a news report? Maybe for you, you think, it's challenging. Yeah, okay, that's okay. So let's circle, it's challenging. Good. Okay, so I have my answer here. And we go to the next question. Can I explain the story of a movie with details and character information? So, lots of information, background information, the story, what happens. Can I explain all of that about a movie in detail? Maybe for you, it's no. Maybe you're like, oh, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. And that's okay. So we circle no, right? So this is a very, very basic example of how to use a can-do list. But make a big list of questions. This is only 3. So for example, I have a can-do list I use for private students, like private, very, very close, like private students. They have 20 can-do questions for each skill, for reading, writing, speaking, listening, yeah? And I create that specifically for that person, okay? So this is just 3. So make sure you have a big list of questions, yeah? And when you answer the questions, the key is to focus on the questions that are challenging for you. So the ones that you say it's challenging about, these ones, that is your new focus point. So why? What's the point? So if you use this one, this means you have some opportunities, you have a chance to grow. If you focus, lots of people have this problem. Lots of people study the same thing over and over and over again. I can do it, but I'm going to study it again and again and again. So for example, lots of people love to practice introducing themselves, right? Hello, my name is. It's easy, right? It's comfortable. We know how to do it. It's not scary, right? But if you study the same thing over and over, you never learn anything new, right? There's no new information. So study those things that you think, it's kind of difficult, but maybe. That's your new practice point. You might think, why not this? Why shouldn't I study this? If you think, I cannot do it at all, like give a business presentation, no. This is not good for your motivation, yeah? If you have to do like a business presentation and you started studying English like a month ago, it's too much, right? Your motivation goes way down. It's way too much. You feel frustrated. You feel tired. I don't know what to do. So these are too much, right? Too much for your motivation. But you can think about it for the future, yeah? So focus here, yeah? Focus your studies on this. So this is how we use a can-do list. So again, this is a very, very basic way of how to use a can-do list. But you can imagine if you have 100 questions, right? And you use these, like maybe you use this today or this week, yeah, to check your level now. And you check the list, you go through the list again, I don't know, in maybe April, yeah? And you write new answers, you will see your progress, yeah? So this is also a progress checker tool. You can track your progress with your answers to these questions, of course, if you study, yeah? So this is, of course, a self-check tool, but also a progress checking tool. So can-do lists, they are your friend. Okay, so this is how we use can-do lists. So we put our can-do lists together with our SMART goals to create our study plan for the year. So for you, your goal will be different from your classmate's goal, and that's okay, because your goal needs to match your needs, right? And the things that you need to work on. So if you combine these SMART goals with your answers to your can-do questions, you can find kind of the place to start or the next place to go. Yeah. So this is what I hope you're able to do at the beginning of this year, and this is also very important to do as not just review, but just to check your progress throughout the year. So if you watched live streams, my live streams last year or the year before, or probably before, I often talk about reviewing your goals, reviewing can-do lists, and setting new goals and checking your level again. We have to do this process in all aspects of our life, right? To move forward. Yeah. Otherwise, we just say stuck. That's no fun. Okay. So this is how we use our goal setting skills and our self-check skills to create a study plan for 2023. So amazingly, I am on time for today. So this is how we can learn a language, any language, learn English in 2023, or you can learn another language, of course, with these same tools, these same concepts. So I hope that this is helpful for you as you begin your study plan for the year. I know it's a very exciting time when we have new goals and new ideas, right? So I hope that you found something you can think about as you design your study schedule for the year. And of course, if you want another tool, don't forget to check out the self-assessment, the assessment test that our team has at English Class 101. Yeah, so it's a good time. I'm making a big list of goals. My list of goals is like this big, right? Everyone should have some goals to improve themselves every year, yeah? All right, let's see. That's it. That's it for me today. So let's take a look at next week's information. Where are you next week? Here you are. Okay, next week I will be back, of course, same time, same channel. Next week I'll be back January 11th, Wednesday, January 11th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is New York City time. If you don't know your local time, please Google it. Or you can set a notification on YouTube or on Facebook. Or if you follow me on Instagram, sometimes I post a link and a topic reminder in my Instagram stories. So please follow me on Instagram to get that. Next week, I'm going to talk about how to talk about your plans for the year. So we are going to do some future tense practice, yeah? How do we describe our goals, one, and what we are going to do? Also, what we're thinking about doing. So please join me again next week to do some future tense practice, and we'll have a super, super good time. All right? So that's it for me this week. That was super, super cool. I hope that you got some good ideas. Let's see. Some of you in the chat are sending questions. Edvin says, what are your goals for this year? I have so many. Oh my gosh, I need to make a list. I have them all in my head. I need to make a list of them. Maybe I'll share a few of them on like Instagram at some point. You'll probably see on like Instagram soon. So come follow me there. All right, others. Okay, Miguel says, I'm gonna enjoy learning English this year. Someone on Facebook is spamming linguistics. 1, please don't spam. 2, linguistics classes, like advanced topics. This is English class 101. Very friendly to all levels, yeah? Okay, we'll finish there for today. So thank you so, so much for joining me again this week. Don't forget to check out the level check test if you want another free resource to see what you should study next. So have a great day, have a great week, have a great weekend. Happy New Year. I hope that your new year is starting off fresh and peaceful, and